idea of Batman's legendary prep time has sparked countless debates among fans. As the ultimate tactician, Bruce Wayne is a man who can outthink gods, neutralize enemies far more powerful than himself, and prepare for any scenario. But what if this concept were pushed to its extreme? What if Batman had unlimited prep time? No deadlines, no interruptions, just an infinite canvas to plan for every conceivable challenge. Now this is the concept of Absolute Batman's terrifying evolution of the Dark Knight, where preparation transcends heroism and brushes against the edges of tyranny. Absolute Batman, the ultimate potential of Bruce Wayne. Now this version of Batman would be more than just a crime fighter or a member of the Justice League. He would embody the peak of human potential's being who rises above even his most powerful allies, dismantles his rogues gallery with ease, and reshapes the moral landscape of Gotham itself. Absolute Batman wouldn't merely respond to threats, he'd eliminate them before they even materialize. However, as with all great power, there's a cost. This concept forces us into the darkest corners of Bruce Wayne's psyche, where preparation teeters on the edge of obsession and strategy becomes indistinguishable from control. Now the origin of the prep time mythos is the notion of Batman with prep time is more than a meme. It's a cornerstone of his character. He's a hero who can turn the tide of any battle with enough preparation. We've seen this play out in The Dark Knight Returns, where Batman uses his intellect and gadgets to outwit Superman, proving that even the Man of Steel isn't invulnerable to a determined Bruce Wayne. In the Tower of Babel, his obsession with preparation backfires when Ra's al Ghul uses Batman's own contingency plans to incapacitate the Justice League. These stories demonstrate the razor-thin line Batman walks. His meticulous planning makes him a savior, but it also makes him a potential threat. Yet, even in these tales, Batman is constrained by time, resources, and his humanity. Absolute Batman removes those limits entirely. A technological god among mortals. Now, Batman's gadgets and vehicles already make him one of the most prepared heroes in the DC universe. The Batmobile, Batwing, and his utility belt are symbols of his ingenuity. But with unlimited time, his technological prowess could reach unimaginable heights. He could design a batsuit impervious to psychic attacks, rendering foes like Martian Manhunter powerless. He might develop weapons to neutralize kryptonite, easing Superman's greatest vulnerability. Vehicles capable of traveling through black holes or exploring alien worlds would make him an intergalactic force. Now imagine a surveillance network that monitors threats across dimensions, tracking movements underwater, underground, or in deep space. With such tools, Batman wouldn't just be Gotham's protector, he'd be Earth's overseer, or perhaps even the galaxy's ultimate guardian. Now, the mind of Absolute Batman. Now, Batman's true strength isn't his gadgets, it's his mind. His ability to analyze, strategize, and predict makes him the ultimate tactician. Given the ultimate prep time, his intellect would become a force of nature. He can master every scientific discipline, perfect every fighting style, and study the psychological profiles of every hero and villain in existence. He wouldn't just prepare for battles, he'd prevent wars, dismantling threats before they could arise. Even the Justice League would be vulnerable. Superman's strength neutralized, Wonder Woman's combat skills countered, the Flash's speed outthought. Absolute Batman wouldn't merely anticipate their moves, he'd render them powerless without throwing a single punch. But when heroism becomes tyranny. But with such power comes a troubling question. Would Absolute Batman still be a hero? His ethos revolves around control over crime, chaos, and even himself. Yet, as Absolute Batman, that control could spiral into obsession. Imagine a Batman who monitors every citizen, every hero, and every villain, manipulating events to fit his version of justice. The line between protector and tyrant would blur. Would he justify these actions as necessary for the greater good? Could he resist the temptation to rule Gotham or the world with an iron fist? Such a Batman could become the very thing he fights against, a dictator cloaked in the guise of a savior. His moral compass, already strained by his relentless pursuit of justice, might shatter under the weight of absolute preparation. Now we have the cost of absolute power. Ultimate prep time is as much much a burden as it is a gift. Batman is human, and even he has limits. The endless strategizing and constant planning could erode his sanity, driving him to paranoia. He might see threats where none exist, isolating himself from allies and losing the very humanity that defines him. His obsession with preparation could consume Bruce Wayne entirely, transforming him into a machine of pure intellect, disconnected from the people he once sought to protect. Now the question remains, could Bruce survive as absolute Batman, or would he lose himself in the process? So is he a hero or a threat? Absolute Batman is a chilling concept, pushing the Dark Knight to his ultimate potential while forcing us to question the cost of such power. He could dismantle the Justice League, eradicate crime in Gotham, and prepare for threats beyond comprehension. But in doing so, he might sacrifice the very principles that made him a hero. Would Absolute Batman save the world or dominate it? Would he be humanity's greatest protector or its most dangerous enemy? One thing is certain, Batman with unlimited prep time transcends his role as Gotham's defender. He becomes a god among mortals, reshaping the DC universe in ways both awe-inspiring and terrifying. Now, one of the most fascinating and perhaps most unsettling implications of Absolute Batman with unlimited prep time is the potential for him to achieve near omniscience, a godlike understanding of the universe and the individuals within it. With infinite time to gather information, study patterns, and analyze probabilities, he could potentially predict the future with an alarming degree of accuracy, not just of his enemies, but of every individual in Gotham, in the world, even across the multiverse. He can know every choice a person will make before they even make it, see every possible outcome branching out from every action. But this raises a fundamental philosophical paradox. If Batman knows the future, is there really truly free will? If he can predict every move, every decision, are individuals truly making choices, or are they simply acting out a predetermined script that Batman, in his indefinite wisdom, has already deciphered? This level of control, this potential erosion of free will, raises the chilling prospect that Batman could become the ultimate architect of a dystopian future, a benevolent or perhaps not so benevolent dictator who believes he knows what's best for everyone, even if that means sacrificing their anatomy. He could justify his actions as necessary for the greater good, for maintaining order and preventing chaos. But at what cost? By eliminating the randomness, the unpredictability of human behavior, would he not also be eliminating the very essence of what it means to be human? The potential for growth, for change, for redemption, all could be stifled under the weight of Batman's all-encompassing, all-controlling plan. Now this brings us to the chilling realization: the greatest threat to Gotham might not be a supervillain or a cosmic entity, but the very hero who swore to protect it, warped by his own power into an entity that prioritizes order above all else, even above freedom itself. He may end up becoming a living embodiment of the very tyranny he fights, his perfect order built upon a foundation of complete control that mirrors the most brutal authoritarian regimes. This highlights that true heroism is not just about power, but about restraint, about understanding that freedom has to mean something, even when it leads to risks and dangers, even when it means chaos can sometimes ensue. Absolute Batman raises the disturbing question of whether true safety can ever truly be separated from the possibility of real and meaningful freedom, and whether a world devoid of free will, even one engineered with good intent, could ever truly be called a good world. Now, want to explore more Batman's most mind-bending scenarios? Check out our other videos and make sure you comment down below what you want to see in the future. We'll see you next time on Top 10 Nerd.